So first I want to say thank you to EA Creator Network. None of this is possible. I can't bring any of this to you early without the EA Creator Network. So big ups and big thanks to those people over there for allowing me this opportunity to show you guys what's coming in season 22 of Apex Legends. I did get to play Apex Legends Season 2 early. Now, I want to address something first and foremost. I do know for a fact that we have been going through a very hard time in the Apex Legends community. The game has been in a position, in a place that has left a lot of us unhappy, to say the least. Unhappy. Obviously, we love this game. I love this game. The core mechanics of this game are untouchable in my opinion. But there are some things that have been a little frustrating that we've been dealing with pretty much the entire life cycle of the game. So just a heads up, recency bias, I did absolutely enjoy my time playing the season 22 early. I really enjoyed it a lot. And there's things that I've been wanting to be tackled and addressed for a very long time that were in fact addressed pretty soon. I think less than a week is the new season, maybe a week away or so. There's major changes coming to the game, specifically around quality of life things. And one of those major changes that might be my personal favorite of the entire thing, well, top two, we'll talk about the other one later. Top two of my favorite things in the entire thing coming to the new game is the brand new map E-District. Now, some of you nasties looking at leaks may have seen something along this lines coming down the future. Something I've been waiting on since Apex has come out is a dense cityscape, urban, cyberpunk vibe map. And that's exactly what E-District is. E-District is a map designed to be as dense as possible. In fact, the devs told us directly, this is the most dense map in the entire history of Apex Legends. Dense, what do I mean by density? I mean, it's jam-packed. Like, there's buildings on buildings on buildings on areas on buildings everywhere. It's exactly what I personally, as a fan of something like movement and creativity in enclosed spaces and 1v3ing teams in creative ways, that's like some of my favorite parts of Apex. It's now embodied in a map completely. E-District has 17, maybe 18 if I miscounted, but I think 17 named POIs, and they're all extremely dense. It's obviously heavily inspired by Titanfall in the past. It's very heavily inspired by Cyberpunk, which, by the way, Cyberpunk top 5 game of all time for me. Make sure you play Phantom Liberty. It's like the best DLC I've ever played. But first off, playing that game and playing Apex at the same time, and then coming to this map, it's like my dream come true. Zipline buildings. There are 2 new versions of gravity cannons on this map. Like we've seen similar in the past, i.e. the ones on Stormpoint, the giant gravity cannons. Well, there's smaller versions now that yeet you from one building to another. There's little mini gravity cannon jump pads that launch you straight up directly into the air. It doesn't push you in any direction. You just go straight up and can move around from there. There's so much verticality on this map. There are specific POIs where you can land at the very top of buildings, where, like, let's say in World's Edge, the very top of buildings are uber out of bounds area where you time out. That's not the case here. There's so much verticality on every single building. Now, that does come with some issues here and there. Audio, we know there's a lot of issues in the past. We've dealt with audio problems in Apex. In this playtest, I definitely found myself dying or coming around a corner and having no idea that someone was there and not really understanding if someone was above me or below me. So hopefully those can get tuned and changed over the time of the map being there, because there is so much verticality in this map. There's so many, every single building has so many layers to it. But this is the type of vibe that I've personally wanted in Apex for a very long time. And I can say without a doubt, I did not get tired of playing on it. We played on it for 4 hours maybe, and I just wanted to play more and more because I enjoyed playing on this map, specifically this map, so much. Very obviously, each map in Apex currently feels different every map you go to, from Stormpoint being very big and the POIs having a lot of separation, to World's Edge being a little denser but having a lot of choke points, to Olympus being third-party central because you can get across it so fast with so many different ways, being the tridents and the jump towers and all the ways that you can kind of cut line of sight off really fast. Broken Moon's new updates making that map going from one of the most boring to one of the best maps in the game. This is the exact map that Apex needed. A dense, action-packed map that allows for people to fight very often and run to other teams very often, but have a ton of opportunity for outplayability based around the environment. And I think that's what this map brings. And another big reason this map was so fun for us in the playtest is because we've played the new version of Apex. Coming to Trios next season is a game mode called Revival. Similar to some things you've seen in other battle royales, Revival is pretty much a trios and 3 strikes combination. When you die and get completely thirsted, as long as your teammate is still in the game, after a certain amount of seconds, the ability to respawn back in the game. Yep, not in 3 strikes, not a separate game mode, in Trios Revival. It is the new version of Trios. This is in the base game now. It's very simple concept. So as long as you have at least one teammate alive at any given time, you will respawn back in the game. But that does mean there's no more crafting banners, there's no more grabbing banners, and there's no more rezzing anybody on the map. That is not a part of the thing. That is not a part of Revival Trios, but that is not the case for Ranked. So we will be playing Ranked on this map, obviously. Ranked will operate like normal Apex, like we've experienced this entire time, where somebody gets knocked, they bleed out, you have to get their banner, craft their banner, plug them back in to get them back in the game, which I personally am a huge fan of. This is a massive W in my opinion, because the best part about Apex is fighting. I don't care what anybody says. A lot of people may play a lot more strategically and love rotating, playing for end zone, stuff like that. But pubs are supposed to help you get better at every version of the game. And the best way to get better at the game is to be involved in the game as much as possible, which is fighting. So people respawning from the sky, which is why, by the way, 3 Strikes was such a big hit, and Rumble 3 Strikes and all that stuff, is people enjoy it so much, is because it's action nonstop, but it still has the battle royale feel where you have to make strategic decisions in your fights. Instead of getting knocked, getting finished, you Wraith mains. Definitely not talking about myself. I've never left the game. Anyway, in my opinion, this means that high kill, high damage games are back. We may see 30 bombs, 40 bombs, 6Ks, maybe even beating Timmy's record and hitting a 10K. These are way more probable now in these games, and now your pubs will last so much longer. And honestly, E-Distrct makes that so much fun. Obviously, I was in a playtest with a lot of high caliber players and a lot of people who really know how to play the game and play the game a ton, so the lobbies did not die out very fast at all. Way slower than a normal pub. It was round 2 closing, round 3 closing, there were still 15, 14 teams alive because teams weren't getting wiped completely. That means more chaos the longer the game goes on, and more fun and more opportunity to get high kill, high damage games. So in my opinion, the combination of E-Distrct coming and Revival being added into trios is exactly the Apex dream that I enjoy. To me, again, if y'all disagree, that's completely cool. Let me know what you think about this in the comments down below. Let me know what you're seeing. If what you're seeing right now is something that you think is really good for the game, or you don't like it at all. My personal opinion, though, is I love fighting. I love the action and high octane moments of Apex Legends. That's what keeps me coming back every day. I'm not gonna lie to you. And there's so much opportunity to get better when you're fighting all the time. Yes, you're gonna die. Yes, you're gonna wait for your teammates to respawn, especially for solo queuing pubs and stuff like that. But it's gonna make you a better player, having these opportunities to play at such a high level and not have to leave the game and sit in the lobby forever. It's honestly like a big bonus in my opinion. After checking out this footage, after checking out what this map looks like, what do you guys think? Is this a W for Apex? Are we coming back? Are we seeing a revival of things that we want to see? I haven't even talked about the weapon changes yet, or the major quality of life in-game changes that are gonna be the biggest difference maker about this season in my opinion. We'll get to that in the next videos. Make sure you subscribe to this channel if you want to see more early access gameplay, more early access content, and more of my opinion about season 22 after playing it for 5 to 10 hours. I appreciate you guys so much for checking this out, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.